Good to see everybody again. Now, we'll get into this right away. All right, smash on the like button beforehand. It's going to be something interesting. Now, a TikToker, Valeria Marquez, was disappeared in Jalisco while doing a live stream, just put at her own beauty salon. I know it's a lot to stack up on, but it's not common at all for things of that nature to happen as far as people in social media. Usually people who are in charge of organized, illegal operations make sure that they don't draw attention to themselves like doing something of this matter, which is going to get media attention. If it was just another normal female disappeared, there's thousands and thousands in Mexico, it doesn't draw much attention. Sorry to say that like it is, but it's the truth. Now, the person being signaled in her disappearance is a very well-known person, someone who threatened me too in a letter a couple years ago, 2 years maybe. Point being, the head of Jalisco Special Forces, also known as Doble, he has a bunch of corridos and music, stuff like that too. Well-known. Buenamencho's go-to people, I think would be the best way to explain it, has been directly signaled in this disappearance. So that it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. On top of the attention and the fame from her being a TikToker, you have the attention and the fame from this guy being a famous capo, bloodthirsty head of Mencho Special Forces, who don't play around, by the way. If anyone's not versed on that, how they're pretty brutal. There's something else, they'll, when they show up, they wipe everything out, even the dog. I'm not kidding. That's how they play, It's indiscriminate violence. Now, she's 23 years old. In the part of Jalisco this happened in is Zapopan. And it's interesting because I don't know if it's related or not, probably not, but she was kind of threatening another female in one of the live streams, and not like threatening to, do something to her personally, but basically saying that she wished she disappeared, something of those lines, right? Now, a lot of people are bringing more, attention to that than I think it's worth. What it's worth, I think it's a coincidence. I don't think Jalisco Special Forces would get involved because of her making a comment on a live stream. That just doesn't sound right. But what's nuts is within the last year, Jalisco had 15,618 disappeared people, didn't come home. So you think about how big those numbers are. This is something huge. This is just one case that we're being drawn to, and this is something I called out years ago was going to happen once they had the grip on things like they do now, especially in their home state. It's something else, but I think a lot of people, unfortunately, have learned to live with this after it's been going on so long, and they've had no relief from the government or from anyone else, and just accept it now as part of life, which is, it's a sad fact. And these people are so impugned, they could come up right when this girl's on this live stream. Doesn't matter how well known she is, and disappear. Now, we know which group this is by fact because they're the only ones operating the area. Second, the fact that this person's being signaled personally as far as Doble says a lot as well. I think some things will come to the light further on as this comes down. I don't think we're going to get her back as far as alive or a body. I just don't think that it would be more convenient for them to just disappear everything and deny, right? But I still think things are going to come out as far as the relation in between her and why this happened to her in specific. Could be past relationships she had with one of these people. Didn't want to go back. Things like that are pretty common, but it's sad, Somebody was coming up and doing their thing, starting to enjoy living life, and gets snuffed out by some really hardcore people who are about that, if you know what I mean. And that's the name of the game right now, especially in Jalisco. Like I said, if you look at the number of disappearances and what's been going on there, it's just one of the few stories coming to the light that's drawing attention. Unfortunately, if you think about all the other thousands, but it is what it is, my friends. I'm just telling you the facts and try to do it respectfully. So leave a comment below. Let me know if you're happy to see me back. Smash on that like button. I'll see you guys on the flip side.